Today we're at the #1 home builder in Boise, and we're here to not only show you some really affordable homes, but clear up some big misconceptions about CBH Homes. There's a reason they're the #1 builder, and there's some local misconceptions, but we're also gonna start touring these affordable home options. We are in Kuna right now, but this is just the beginning of a really long journey with CBH because they are the #1 builder. They have tons of floor plans. So even if you don't want to live in Kuna, you're gonna wanna watch these videos because we're gonna go through floor plans, show you, talk about CBH, clear up misconceptions, give you information on them, and show you all of the options they have. So subscribe to the channel because throughout the next months, we're gonna try and get to a lot of the floor plans with CBH, and it's gonna be really valuable because they build in every inch of the entire valley. Okay, we're out here at the first house. At the end, we're gonna go over the most affordable home that we're out in the intro, but for those of you who are new, we do rock, paper, scissors to see who films. The loser has to sit behind the camera.
I've been on a very, very cold streak.
Yep,
You might have to switch something up.
I know, I think I'm up 2 or 3, so we'll see if we can
Gotten a lot of
continue.
Brady.
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Hey, all right.
Jesse got one.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Feels weird being on this side.
I know.
What do I do with my hands?
Yeah, you're used to just sitting back here.
But yeah, obviously, so we're out here in a CBH community in Kuna. They have multiple communities in Kuna as well as across the Treasure Valley. Brady mentioned they're the #1 builder in this area. Actually, in all of Idaho, they're a top 15 builder in the nation, I think is the recent stats. But in any case, we're gonna check out this floor plan, which I forgot the exact name of, the Amelia. So this is a really popular one, obviously 2-story, has the 3-car garage, but really nice floor plan from them, 2,600 square feet. So if you're looking for a larger home at really a really affordable price, that is what CBH delivers. So yeah, coming on in, you have kind of an open area, but you do have a non-bedroom. So you have an office, bonus room, kids play room, homeschooling room, you know, obviously office as it's set up now. But yeah, really good space right here off the front. You'll see with CBH, because this is an affordable builder, they're going to have some hard surface flooring, a lot of carpet in some of the rooms and other areas like this. So things you can upgrade over time, but substantially help you save on that initial purchase price.
Yeah, there's a reason that they're the #1 builder, and a big reason is they are so affordable, and we're really excited to be able to start showing you guys these houses and going over price points. Because this home being a 2,600 square foot home, will go over the price here in Kuna, but in Caldwell, I mean, you can get this home for, you know, $500,000, which is like absolutely insane to be able to buy a house like that and just upgrade over time. So
yeah, and we'll obviously talk through all the differences, everything you can get, and continue to show a lot more of them, but also kind of comment on the variety of home buyers this fits, because when you hear affordable, most people are going to think first-time home buyer, but it's not just first-time home buyers that this would be an amazing fit for. But again, this particular floor plan, you got the hallway that comes in, you have your office or bonus room there, and then off to the side here. And this is something newer with CBH, where we'll talk more about the misconceptions, but one of them is recently they're really taking their homes up a level, not just in terms of quality and materials, but also just design. This would normally have been a half bath. It's a full bath that they added in here. Wow. You have a full bath on the main level. This, again, something recent, because I've walked through and sold similar floor plans to this. That would 100% have been a half bath.
100%, yeah. And it just shows how much they change and grow, because yeah, this is one of their most popular floor plans, so they easily could have just left it the same way, kept doing it, but they're still improving even some of their more popular floor plans.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, as you come in, really big, spacious living room area here. It's nice that this one's staged. A lot of the ones we're going to tour in the future aren't going to be staged, so this is a nice treat, fortunately. But yeah, really good natural lighting. You have plenty of space. Again, it's one of their larger floor plans. Some of the details, again, that keep it on the affordable side, you don't necessarily have 10-foot ceilings. You know, the windows don't have the trim, but you do have quite a few of them, so they don't skimp, at least on window count.
Yeah, things like that. I mean, we'll touch the more we go through these houses on all of the little things that do make it more affordable that are good to know about. Yeah, as we go through these houses.
But yeah, and then in this layout, you have your dining room here in between the kitchen and the living room area. But this kitchen, really good size. We're starting to see them become a little bit more modern style. So a lot of the cabinets of their recent homes are gonna have this kind of veneer finish. Still, pretty solid wood, but not necessarily stained or paint grade. It has this layer on top, which again is a little bit more modern. This community here in Kuna has some of the upgraded options for CBH, because each community might be a little different, where they might not have stone countertops, they might have slightly downgraded finishes, but this community does have stone in a lot of the homes. Again, a nice hard surface flooring, and then the full backsplash.
Yeah, that's one of the big differences with CBH, right? Is not only community to community, but the house next door might have laminate.
Yep.
Instead of stone countertops. And a part of that is they want to give people a more affordable option. But another big one is you can't build with CBH, right?
Correct, yeah. So a while back, actually, maybe it was post-COVID, they stopped custom builds, semi-custom, custom, all of it completely, and they only build spec homes. What's nice is they have, and maybe we'll show it as we walk out of here, usually dozens of homes on the same street that are available, because they are the largest builder in this area. But you can't necessarily change or customize anything. You get what it is, where it's placed. Luckily, you could change it after the fact when you move in, but you don't get any design choices.
Yeah, and it works out nice because like right now we're in the Amelia, and we're in Kuna, and obviously they have communities all over the valley, but just in Kuna they have, I think, 8 or 9 communities in Kuna.
Yeah.
And so the odds are is, even if, say, you don't like the color options in here, there's probably an Amelia in this community, and if there's not, there's for sure one in all 8 of their communities in Kuna for a similar price. So even though you can't build with them, you do get options, and they're constantly building. I mean, thousands of homes a year. So.
Yep, exactly. Yep. In this particular floor plan, one thing I really like, and we've seen it in a lot of different homes, the sink that's facing out the window, which is cool. So you can look out your backyard.
Such a popular thing that I know, a lot of you guys really want that instead of it having in the island here.
And then just to finish out this bottom level, you do have a nice little mud bench here, storage closet, and then a walk-in pantry just off the kitchen. So again, being one of their bigger floor plans, it's gonna have all those extra touches where some of the smaller ones may not have all the extra closet space and room. So yep.
And then garage is right here.
Yep.
And one thing that's nice is their spec, but a lot of their bigger houses do have 3-car garage options. Some of them even have 4, where like this third bay would be extended back all the way. But yeah, lots of opportunities. Obviously, you're not gonna have a finished garage or anything spectacular.
Yep.
But do have the 3-car garage option with this house.
Yeah, and this particular community does have larger lot sizes. It has a variety of homes. This is a great size backyard for the price. But I mean, this is, and you can even see the neighbor next door is even larger, but you do have a really nice backyard. One thing to keep in mind with CBH is not all of their homes, well actually most of their homes, do not include rear landscaping or full fencing. Sometimes you get lucky and some of the fences are already in place, but that's something to factor in with the purchase price, as well as their promos, which we'll comment on a little bit later.
Exactly. Yeah, now we can head upstairs in the Amelia.
Yeah, so up here in the Amelia floor plan, really nice little loft or bonus room area. And honestly, this is really big space. You can tell even by the couch. I mean, this could be utilized for a lot of things. And again, what makes it one of the more popular CBH floor plans.
And I'd say this is one of the things CBH is known for, is they have flex spaces in almost all of their 2-stories.
Yep.
It's a key part of the houses that they sell. And CBH is, because this will be the only 2-story we're in, they're known for having all of the rooms upstairs. They don't have very many floor plans that have a couple downstairs. So yeah, something good to know about with CBH.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even think of a specific one, but master bedrooms upstairs on all their 2 stories. So if you want a main level master, most likely you'll look at a single level.
Yep.
But we'll head over here. So this is part of the guest wing, and this one does have 4 full bedrooms plus that office down there. So again, it is spacious, a little bit more family oriented with plenty of bedroom space. So not stone up here. You do have the same cabinetry, you know, very basic. You just have the mirror, no frame or anything. But again, a lot of this stuff gets you in at an amazing price point that in the future, if you really wanted to upgrade, change things out, build some equity, you could do quite easily. And then the fiberglass insert shower here.
Yep. Laundry rooms right there. And then bedrooms.
Yeah, yep, guest bedroom.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, definitely one complaint. I do hate the accordion. These things, I can guarantee within the first year or 2, especially if you have kids, these things are gonna fall off. So honestly, a lot of people just take them down and leave the closet open. But again, nothing too upsetting.
One thing I thought was funny is we just got done filming Tresidio and Berkeley homes, which are higher end homes, and they had booby lights.
Yes.
CBH, even though they're the most affordable, they still do the canned LEDs.
Yeah, yep. And what's nice too is a lot of these, you can actually take down and adjust the brightness and the color. So you can go from bright white to like a soft, just because with the LED and obviously technology getting better, a lot of these you can actually adjust. Because I know sometimes we have clients that they like, you know, the soft white as they call it, or they want the bright white. And in this case, you don't have to go and change everything out. You can adjust a lot of these.
Yeah, that is nice.
And then your 2 other guest bedrooms here. And you know, for a really affordable, good price point, these are good sized bedrooms.
Yep.
2,600 square feet overall, so it is a bigger home, but 4 full bedrooms with the office. This is a good sized room. You know, something in the past that we've seen, if you've seen maybe some existing or resale CBH homes, especially for those that live in the area, one thing a lot of people notice first is the carpet. It feels like you're walking on cardboard. Now, again, that's something that they've upgraded. They know that buyers want a little bit more. This carpet and padding actually feels very nice, soft. It's not cardboard like some of the previous homes.
Yeah, that is a good thing to know.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing we do suggest, like if you do build a house with anybody, is upgrading the padding. It makes a huge difference.
Yep.
Not just for long-term lasting, but it just feels so much better to have that cushion.
And then over here, storage closet before you head into the master bedroom. So again, the accordion doors, you know, not the end of the world, but you do at least have some good closet space. And then in their bigger floor plans, they really accentuate the master bedroom. I mean, this is a big master bedroom, and some of their floor plans, which we won't probably see today, but in future videos, I mean, they're even larger than this for the same size square footage of home.
They do. They definitely emphasize having a huge master bedroom, which is nice for a lot of people, especially, you know, for these types of houses that are more kid friendly and family oriented. It's nice to have a large space for you and your husband or wife.
But in this case, you know, a good sized master bathroom. You do have stone in here, which is cool. So you do have the upgraded countertops in here. The walk-in shower, so no bathtub in this one. Sometimes they might have a bathtub combo, but you do have the small walk-in shower, and it is fiberglass, but it's nice to have the little window at least. Yep,
and some of their floor plans in this size range do have a bathtub up here. This one just happens to have a little extra linen closet instead. Sometimes they'll put a bathtub right there instead.
And then master closet, some built-ins, nothing crazy. Again, all these things that maybe feel left out compared to some of the other homes we tour are all things that could easily be added and still be well under the price range of some other homes, especially of this size.
Yeah, and while we're in a two-story too, one thing I wanted to note was where they put their HVAC system.
Yeah.
It is a unique thing, and some people actually love this, but it should be right in this closet right here. And sometimes, yeah, some people prefer to have it in their house. Makes it easier. It's definitely the worst when you have it in your attic.
Sure.
That can be a pain for some people, just for convenience.
And as we tour other garages, CBH does do that a lot. Luckily, you don't have to go all the way to your attic to change the filters. They put them here in the ceiling. Obviously, your HVAC technician may not be as excited about working on it if it's in the attic, but they do that to save space in the garage. So again, trying to give you the most out of the space and the footprint that they can provide, and they've decided a lot of times that furnace will go up in the attic or in the second story closet.
Yep. And then again, this is the Amelia 2636, and this home is $564,000.
Yep.
But it's their model home. They only have 4 models that are furnished in the whole valley, and so this one is probably priced a little bit higher because they don't want to sell it necessarily. And so, but still, I mean, even at $560,000 for the size of home, amazing price.
We're out here at the second home, which obviously you can tell, single level home, another one with the 3-car garage, which is really, really cool because again, to find homes in this price range with 3-car garage and this size is pretty hard to find in really every part of town. But this particular one, the Bennett, 1694, so just under 1,700 square feet, super popular one for your kind of typical 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom with an extra flex space or office space.
Yep. Yeah, and before we go in, just want to point out what we talked about, where when you come out to a CBH community, you can just see, like, we can walk down the line, and a lot of these houses are going to be very similar price point, and so just cool to get all the different options and, you know, the 100 different floor plans that they have, and at an affordable price.
That kind of brings up another point of CBH. They're the only builder in all of their developments. So they buy the bare land, they develop, they create these communities, and then they build all the homes. So when you're in a CBH community, every home around you is another CBH home option. So you can usually find the specific variety that you're looking for or have multiple options. And then one thing as we come around here, so some of the things, again, there has to be some areas where they save some money. Gutters, they have gutters usually over the walkways or over some of the main areas, but it's not fully wrapped with gutters. So one of the, I guess, misconceptions, maybe accurate conceptions with CBH Homes, we'll talk about more once we get further into the home, is the overall, or like the future concerns, so like with water and things like that. So if I was, you know, to buy one or recommend some of my clients over time, you might want to keep an eye on that. If the grading isn't very strongly away from your home, adding gutters could be a really good first upgrade because it isn't fully wrapped with gutters.
Yep, yeah, good point.
But this particular home is different. It actually does have more of the modern trim. So again, we're in the same community, same builder. The other one had the shorter, maybe 2.5 inch trim. This one has the modern baseboards just squared up all the way around. And then again, this being the Bennett 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom with the bonus room we'll show on the main level since it is single level. This is one of the guest bedrooms. Nothing too big. I would say pretty standard, maybe slightly larger for most 1,700 square feet homes. For sure. You have good, 2 windows up front, which is great. Bathroom, guest bathroom here, fiberglass insert, your just basic mirror, laminate countertops. So again, kind of entry-level materials and selections, but still a really solid home, and it matches the price point, if not, is even slightly better because you get a really good value for the size of home. And again, in this community, really good sized backyards.
Yep.
But this would be the flex space, office, second living area, bonus room. There are some varieties of this floor plan where this is closed off and it could be an actual bedroom. but in this case, they do have it as an open bonus area.
Yeah, or gym area would be a good spot for a gym if you don't necessarily need an office space.
Yeah, yep. And then this is where this floor plan obviously is, again, very popular. It's because of this area of the home. Really nice vaulted ceiling. You have a good sized living room and a separate dining room area. But again, the vaulted ceiling, giving it the height, it feels a lot larger and a lot more grand than a lot of traditional 1,700 square feet homes.
Yeah, and one thing is this is not staged, so you guys
Yep.
can't even really see how big this living room actually is, but I manage an Airbnb that's this floor plan, and we have a full sectional couch. We have a chair over there. Like, there's tons of room in here. And then the other thing is with CBH, these vaulted ceilings, you're gonna see that in, I think, every single one of their single story floor plans, which is nice to have. It's such a popular thing. It just makes the whole space feel so much bigger.
And then very similar kitchen style. The last home had the stone countertops. So again, that was kind of upgraded because that's their model home per se for CBH. Very similar cabinetry. Again, more of a modern look. And what's funny is, not in this community, a different one in Kuna. I have a client that bought this exact same floor plan, and it was interesting to work with them because their original plan was in Boise, somewhere close to downtown campus area. They're a younger individual. And as we started to see those homes at the same price point, yes, you can buy a home in those areas for the same price as what we're sitting in here, but they're gonna be much older. They're gonna be a little bit unique, have some, unique qualities because they are of a different era. Some things are gonna need a lot of work, but coming out to here to see the size of the home you get, the quality, and having it be brand new was far more valuable to them than just living somewhere closer to town. So a kind of a personal example of this floor plan being, again, very popular, but also why a lot of the people moving here seek out new or newer homes, even though they might want to live in a different area.
Yeah, and it's so much nicer to do work on your home and be upgrading it than doing work on your home and keeping it alive.
Yep. But yeah, as we look back here, this would be a good example. They would level it out a little bit more. But again, rear landscaping and fencing not included at the purchase price. You can have CBH do it depending on the season, but for the most part, you just kind of have a blank slate. You do have front landscaping that is included, and then if you wanted to, a lot of times, we recommend wait till your neighbor buys and see if they want to split the fence down the line so you guys kind of share the costs. But for the most part, if you move in without the landscaping included, it will just be kind of dirt back here.
Yep. Yeah, and much more affordable to wait. And sometimes you get lucky and your neighbor just gets tired of waiting and they just do it for you, and then you don't have to worry about it.
And then we'll wrap over here to the master bedroom. You get a little closet here, which is nice, so a little bit more storage space. And then again, this one, 1,000 square feet smaller than the last home we saw, but this is a good sized master bedroom.
Yep.
I mean, easily a king bed or a queen bed, nightstands. You can have TV furniture here as well. So a good size for the square footage of home. And then you do have your dual vanities, which is great. Really good sized closet. And then for most homes this size for CBH, you will just have a walk-in shower or maybe a tub shower combo. And then one thing which we were just talking with someone who reached out, a viewer, no door in this case for the toilet room, but you do have a true door to go into the bathroom.
Yeah, and it's nice that they even gave you the window in here too. So.
Yeah,
definitely plenty. And one thing is they've changed this floor plan a little bit since the Airbnb. So
okay.
Yeah, constantly changing things and trying to make things improved, and just something good that you want to see. And that's part of the misconception, right? Is CBH has made a huge change over the last few years.
Yeah, I'd say when clients first come to us looking in this price range or possibly at CBH or competing home builders, the first thing they say is, well, I read online or I've heard or someone told me about lack of quality, poor construction, overpriced, all those type of things. And we would say certainly over the last probably 5 to 7 years, that conception has become incorrect. Obviously you get what you pay for. So not everything is going to be 100% perfect. Some of the baseboards might not be a perfect right angle. You might have a little bit of, bow or movement where it's not a perfect setup, but overall the quality is certainly there. We have clients that buy these homes. We talk obviously with our inspectors, and there's things that the inspector calls out that they're even mentioning, like, hey, this is a solid home. CBH actually has done some things that some high-end builders don't even do behind the scenes or behind the walls. So overall, a lot of the negative feedback was in the past where, truthfully, some of the eras that CBH was building were very low quality. They were slapped up together, almost like a manufactured home. They built walls off site and just pieced it together, and you can usually tell. But nowadays, very solid homes, very little concerns versus any other builder, and they've become extremely buyer friendly, which is really cool to see. So they want to take care of their homeowners, and they do that with selling a good product that, one, looks really nice. It might not have all the highest end of finishes, but you can be very confident in the long-term longevity of the home.
Yep, exactly. And before we head to the next house, reach out if you guys have any questions. Me and Jesse, we are here and we like to provide value and actually show you guys informational things. CBH is an example. These may not be the prettiest homes to view. They're not staged. They're not the highest end homes, but we know that it's things that you guys need to know. You want to see them, get information on them, and we want to truly create relationships. We're not here to just buy and sell you a house. There's been times where we've had clients and we tell them you should not buy a house right now. There's been times where we push people down in price range because we truly care about the people that we work with. And me and Jesse we're out here every day. So when you reach out to us, you actually get us. We don't pass you off to a team member. We don't pass you off to another agent. You actually get to work with us. We're gonna be showing you houses, negotiating, doing all of the things that you would expect when you watch and trust us and learn from us. So shoot us a text, shoot us a call. We'd really appreciate it. And we're having a friendly competition with the other agents in the Valley. So if you could subscribe to the channel, it helps us out, helps our family out, even if you're not buying. And it also keeps you up to date on all the things that we're gonna be posting, especially with CBH, getting to know all of their floor plans and really just staying up to date with everything. So wanted to touch on that, and now we'll head to the most affordable house out here in Kuna. It's a really popular one.
All right, we're at the third and final home for this community tour, the most affordable one, and honestly a really cool floor plan. We almost had a client buy this one. They just went a different direction. But before we step in, the last home, forgot to mention the price. So the Bennett 1694, just under 1,700 square feet. That one here, as it sits, was listed at 460,000. So 460,000 for a brand new finished home, 1,700 square feet, really awesome. Yeah. And then of course CBH is known for their promotions and incentives throughout the year, which we'll talk about the actual numbers currently inside. But again, this one being the most affordable, especially in this community, they have a lot of floor plans in this general size range, 13 to 16, 1500. This one being the Mallory 1445, so just over 1,400 square feet. Of course, are really popular because it's darn near impossible to get into a home of this quality under 450, unless you're a little bit further out of town. But this particular one we really liked just because it is a more functional setup. It's not your typical open concept where everything's in one gigantic rectangle. You have your dining room here behind the kitchen area, and then of course your living room here. But this one does have the upgraded countertops, the nicer sink and faucet, and the price point, which we'll mention at the end, is probably going to surprise a lot of you, even for those who have seen and walked through other CBH homes.
Yeah, especially with this backyard right here, which we can just look at right now, because one of the biggest expenses of the reason real estate is so high in Boise is not because of the house. It's the land values are what makes home prices go up so much. And to get a lot like this, I mean, that mound right there would be your border. But I mean, this is a huge lot for what you typically see in this price range. And at the price of this house, it's absolutely insane that you get this big of a backyard.
Yeah, and what's nice, again, this is where sometimes you just get lucky, or maybe you have the ability to pick and choose. This is on an end or a corner lot, so you have, what is that, half your fence line or 2/3 of your fence line already in. You just have one side left to fill in. So you get a huge savings just in that, because the developer does do the perimeter of the communities. And in this case, you have the back one already. So those are things that, as you go through, if CBH is a potential home builder that you're looking at, you know, we can try and optimize your purchase as best as possible by, hey, this one already has this included, or you don't have to do fencing, even though it's the same floor plan as maybe next door for the same price.
Yeah, and I mean, the fence alone, I mean, that's a couple $1,000s that it saves you right off the bat. So, and that adds up when you're buying your first house, or just even, you know, upgrading your second house.
Yeah, and that's where I mentioned, most people, when you say affordable, it's like, okay, first time home buyers. Yes, that's of course a big market for CBH and a big market for the clients that we've helped buy CBH homes, but they actually encompass a ton more. These are very investor friendly too. So not all builders sell directly to investors. So we do have, you know, a lot of investor clients looking at properties like this. That does come with some pros and cons. So CBH communities will have maybe a slightly higher amount of rentals versus other communities. But it also shows that if you're gonna buy your first home, maybe you're gonna try and house hack and keep it after the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years. These turn into amazing rentals because they're solid homes, they're beautiful, but they're also fairly low maintenance. There's nothing too over the top that you have to worry about. But also, I've had clients, again, that are first-time home buyers, investors, people that are downsizing. They wanna cash out on maybe their higher valued home, bank a ton of cash in their savings or retirement, and move into something that's a little bit more functional and reasonable to live in, because they don't need the extravagance. And then also what we've been seeing lately, and I've had a few of these as well, and I know Brady's talked to some clients looking at something similar, is second homes. So a lot of times you have, you know, individuals out of state or out of town that maybe they come here frequently for work, or their kids go to Boise State and they want to come visit several months out of the year. These type of homes are perfect for that, because you get a great home for a really good value, but you know you're not using it, you're not living there full time. So these kind of hit the mark really well for stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're really good for those of you who want like a blank slate for a cheaper home. We have some clients right now that are looking at buying a CBH and then just putting an extra $50,000 into the house to, you know, upgrade cabinets and countertops and flooring and things like that, and paint. And it gives you a little bit of a blank slate too, because once you jump up a tier, I mean, you're already $150,000 more, because everything is upgraded. The ceilings are upgraded, the roof, like everything's upgraded, versus here, you can just upgrade it a little bit to make it a little bit nicer. So just lots of options.
Yeah, and that's where, again, this does hit a lot more people than you'd initially think, and that's where they have, you know, they are the biggest home builder and seller here in all of Idaho. But yeah, coming down this hallway for this floor plan, you have your 2 bedrooms, so it's 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Your guest bath over here, same story, you know, your fiberglass insert, standard countertops, the cabinetry matches the kitchen, and then your 2 bedrooms. So just over 1,400 square feet. Again, pretty standard expectation inside the bedroom. One comparison compared to maybe an existing home in a different part of town that you were initially looking for, like in Boise or Meridian. If you're gonna look at the same price point, it's probably gonna be an older home, 1980 to, you know, maybe early 2000s. This is actually a taller ceiling than a lot of those homes. So you do get
9 foot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something people have asked about too, just since we're walking through, those are just pass-throughs. So doors nowadays are so close to the ground and airtight that if the furnace is pushing out air, it might be enough to not be able to open the door. So that's what these are for. Other builders have intake and outtake set up in the room. These ones just have that pass-through.
Yeah, and that's a code thing. That's not anything that CBH can necessarily control. So you'll see this in pretty much every builder in this price range.
And then again, the other bedroom here, maybe slightly larger, similar size, but good sized room. Again, good quality carpet padding. It actually feels like carpet. Doesn't feel like you're walking on a hard surface floor like some of the older generation CBH homes.
Yeah, and then laundry room out to the 2-car garage out there. Pretty standard 2-car garage, but a little bit different than some of the other floor plans.
Yep, and then over here off of the living area is your master bedroom, which very spacious, oversized for the square footage. This is a really good sized master bedroom. It has the ceiling fan included, which is great. So again, those are some of the small touches that the home next door might not have that. And unfortunately, you can't make those changes with CBH. So you kind of have to pick and choose which currently finished or spec home fits your checklist the best. But luckily there's multiple options throughout each community, throughout each part of town. And then of course the master bathroom, a really good sized vanity, your walk-in shower, and then slightly smaller closet, but again, 1,1500 square foot home. This is pretty typical and expected, so nothing too negative about the overall setup, but the value is really, or the price point is really where this one shines. And this home, as we're walk through, is listed at $415,000, but they do have their promotions, which again, CBH is known for. They do vary throughout the year and they do increase depending on the price point. So this current home would have a $15,000 builder concession, which could be used towards fencing, landscaping, interest rate buy downs, closing cost coverage, some
blinds, refrigerator.
Exactly, some other interior upgrades. And again, those numbers change. And this is where, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, it was probably closer to 20 or 25,000. So as this year has progressed, the market has been picking up, which we've talked about in a lot of videos. And the first thing to go is those builder concessions are going to start to decrease, or sale prices are starting to go up. So we've already seen 5 to 10K come off that incentive for a CBH home. So if this is kind of the price range that you're looking for, there's another really good community by Hayden Homes, which would kind of be a competitor, different style, different price points, different look. But here, Harvest Creek over in Nampa, Hayden Homes community, go check that out. And as always, reach out with any questions. We'd love to chat with you, and hopefully we get a chance to meet you soon.